it's a lot more work recording ASMR videos than you realise. Yeah. But I've like brushed my hair and put makeup on because I also didn't realise just how red and blotchy my face is with lighting and cameras and things. So I had to put makeup on. And because I've gone to that effort on a Tuesday, I thought I would make the most of it and do more than one video. So if you're thinking, hang on, she's wearing the same outfit she was wearing in her introduction to her channel video, that's why. Today, I'm just going to double check it's definitely recording. Yep, we're good. Today I am going to do a book review. I'm going to apologise now. This video is not for children. Not for children. The book review that I'm going to be reviewing is called Unfuck Your Habitat. You're better than your mess. And I'm not going to apologise for the language because it's just words, but some people might find it offensive. So I'm not going to bleep or censor. But as I said, not for children. And this book, I will be honest, I haven't actually finished reading it yet. But I'm still going to do a book review because it's really, really applying to my life right now. It's written by Rachel Hoffman. And I will read the blurb on the back. A must read for people who are terrified by Marie Kondo, but intrigued by being able to see their floors again. That's from a New York Times best-selling author of Little Brother, Cory Doctorow. Finally, a housekeeping and organisational system developed for those of us who feel put off or left behind by traditional systems. The ones that so often ignore single people with full-time jobs, people without kids but living with roommates, and people with physical limitations or mental health issues. You know, those of us living in the real world. Interspersed with lists and challenges, this practical, no-nonsense advice relies on a 20-10 system. 20 minutes of cleaning, followed by a 10-minute break. No marathon cleaning allowed. To help you develop lifelong habits. It motivates you to embrace a new lifestyle in manageable sections, so you can actually start applying the tactics as you progress. The Unfuck Your Habitat philosophy is decidedly more realistic than aspirational, but the goal is the same. Not everyone will have a show home, but whatever your habitat, you deserve one that brings you happiness, not stress. Rachel Hoffman launched Unfuck Your Habitat in 2011 to motivate regular people to get up, start cleaning, and get their lives in order. Her advice has appeared in publications including Glamour, Persephone, and X0Jane, whatever that is. Rachel lives in New England with her husband and 3 chihuahuas. So this book, I was recommended the Unfuck Your Habitat concept by a friend. They have a website and they have got an app. I think the app might be called something different because I don't think you can have swear words in the App Store. But yeah, they've got an app and they have got a book. I had the app, but I found since I'm trying to use my phone less, it was counterproductive. But the book, as I said, I haven't even finished reading it, and it has been so helpful. So, straight up, I love Marie Kondo. I love the KonMari method. I love decluttering. I have got rid of so much of my stuff. I have got so much of my husband's stuff. I've done several passes through my own belongings before I moved. And I think another pass since I've moved. I've gone through my husband's stuff and got rid of some of his stuff. And I love what she has to say about letting go of things. She's got some really great advice. which is a form of inflammatory bowel disease. It's a glamorous one. But the outcome of that is that I often end up with fatigue and being unwell. I can't do too much or I end up sick. And especially when I was still living down in England and I was trying to work full time and I was trying to keep healthy and I was trying to run a house, keep on top of housework, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And I put far too much pressure on myself and I was really struggling. On top of that, I have also had battles with depression over the past few years, especially after the breakdown of my previous marriage at the end of 2015, and then living alone for quite a few years until I moved back home to Shetland last year. Living alone, it's hard to be motivated to look after the place when it's just you. And even having moved up to Shetland, I'm living with my wonderful husband. I'm very, very happy, but mental health doesn't shake off. You can still be happy and still have mental health problems. And sometimes finding the motivation to do the housework can sometimes slip you up by. And I know that right now there's a lot of people in lockdown all over the world because of coronavirus, and there's a lot of people really struggling with their mental health. I did a mention on Facebook the other day about how much I realise that if I don't have a target, like a goal, I just don't do anything. And so many of my friends were commenting, going, oh my goodness, like they could really relate to the whole, just in this weird time feeling a bit lost, and that they weren't even doing the normal level of activity they'd normally do. Things are kind of getting, housework's getting away from them, and just feeling really overwhelmed. So this is a really difficult time, and that's why I thought this is a good time to discuss this book, because I know that it's something that a lot of people are struggling with right now, and I have found this book really, really helpful. And I said I've not even finished reading it. So this is aimed at people who are struggling. It's not aimed at people who already have the perfect home. You can go watch something else. And this is the people who've got the pile of laundry on the floor, who have got that mountain of dishes in the kitchen, who can write their name in the dust. That's basically what my house looks like right now. I'm working on the dishes. I did some this morning. The idea being that sometimes it all gets away from us and you need to play catch up, or you need to learn how to manage it in the first place. So her method, she breaks it right down. She also doesn't assume that everyone knows how to clean, because sometimes if you've not necessarily been shown how to do stuff, I mean, most people can kind of figure out as they go along, but she even has a whole section in here just about how to clean. What do you use where? Because it's not always intuitive. I mean, I'm fortunate that I've actually got a part-time job as a cleaner, so I hope I know what I'm doing. But some people, they've never been shown, they've never learned, they don't really know what they're doing. They don't realise that you're supposed to wipe down your skirting boards, and that kind of thing. So she has, she talks about actually how to clean on the website. There's like checklists of things you should be doing on a daily basis, things you should be doing weekly, monthly and seasonal. There's a lot of resources available. The idea being it's teaching you how, but it's also the psychology behind actually getting it done. Now, it mentioned already about the 2010, and that is the completely life-changing part of it. Actually, I'm going to start with another message. message in this book is that you deserve to live in a nice space, especially when you live alone. It can be really easy to be like, oh, there's no one else here, it doesn't matter. But you deserve to live in a nice house, a nice home, a nice habitat. Whether it's an apartment, a flat, a house, a caravan, whatever, a tent, you deserve to live in a nice space. You deserve the place to be clean. You deserve the place to be tidy. A cluttered, messy environment is bad for your mental health. It does have a negative impact on how you feel. And you deserve the best. You deserve good things. That was like the first message that I'm like, huh, yeah, I do deserve somewhere nice. You deserve to wake up and look around and to feel good about the space that you're in. You deserve to come home from work or come home from wherever you go out in the day, school or whatever, and look around you and be happy to be in the space that you have. So cleaning is not about the other people in the house. It's not about being a good wife. It's not about being a good husband, being a good flatmate, roommate, whatever. It's doing it for you. And then, so our main basis of how to clean is the 2010 method. Now, my natural way of being, and this book is completely aimed at people like me, is to let things get utter chaos. I will ignore it and ignore it and ignore it until I can't deal with it any longer, and then I'll do like a marathon session, and then I'm exhausted from having done a marathon cleaning session and I don't want to ever do it again. Actually, normally, to be honest, I will do that if I've got somebody coming around to visit. So I've got guests coming, I will have a marathon cleaning session the day before or the morning of someone coming to stay or coming to visit, and I will blitz the place, and I will be exhausted afterwards, and I'll not want to clean for a while, and so it'll get out of hand again, and then it'll continue on. So the next time someone comes to stay or comes to visit, I will blitz the place, and I'm doing it for other people. I'm saying that other people deserve my house to look nice, but I don't, because I'm letting it get bad in between. And in doing those big marathon sessions, it really burns you out and it makes you not want to do it again. But oh my goodness, it looks so nice when it's been cleaned. So our approach is don't do marathons, because they burn you out, they discourage you from wanting to do it again. Our 20-10, or you can do 45-15, or you can do 10 and 5, or whatever you're capable of doing. Like, especially if you're really unwell, if you've got like chronic fatigue, or you're really unwell and you can only manage like 5 minutes, that is fine. Do 5 minutes. One second, I'm just making sure it's recording. Yeah, it's weird not being able to actually see the laptop. So the point being is that you do whatever you can manage, but you do it consistently and regularly. And by our approach of doing 20-10, you do 20 minutes. So say you've got a mountain of dishes, like every dish you own, that's kind of where we've gotten to by this morning. Pretty much all of the pots and pans, pretty much all of the plates, all of the bowls had definitely been used. Just about all the glasses and mugs and everything, all the cutlery was all piled up in a massive pile on the counter. This morning I was like, right, I'll do 20 minutes worth. I don't like drying dishes, so actually what I'll do is I'll wash a dish drainer worth of dishes. That's a finite amount. Once a dish drainer's full, then I'll stop, let it dry. So rather than trying to do all of the dishes, you do a set amount. So whether it's a dish drainer full, whether it's you set a timer and do, right, I'm going to do 20 minutes worth. The idea being 20 minutes worth is better than none. And this especially is useful for perfectionists. it's ironic that a perfectionist could have a really messy home, but if you're very much an all or nothing kind of person, the idea that good enough is better than not at all, and learning that, so I'm just going to read some quotes from the book. There was one here that was, it was saying, the value in a task isn't necessarily its completion, but in the very undertaking of it. So for example, if you've done 10 minutes dishes, it doesn't matter if you've not finished them all, you've done 10 minutes worth of dishes that have now been washed. Let go of perfect and embrace good enough. There was a couple other quotes that I saw in here that I thought were quite good, that I'd actually highlighted. It's talking about the fact that with cleaning, you can always come back to it. If you don't do what you hope to accomplish today, you're still going to have the chance to do it tomorrow. Or next week. You can't fail at something cyclical. You may have times when you when you fall short of your expectations, but then you can try again and get it right, or even just closer to right. So she's talking about how cleaning is something you should be doing a little bit of every day or regularly, and by doing that, you're always chipping away at it. So even if you haven't completed all of it in one day, you can come back to it tomorrow, it'll still be there. Some days you just will not be in the right headspace, you'll not be physically able, you'll not have the time, but that's where tomorrow comes in, and that's where you pick up tomorrow and you do the best that you can. And yeah, so this book, just that psychology of breaking things down into bite-sized, manageable chunks. If cleaning the entire house is too much, pick one surface. If your list is far too long and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know where to begin, pick one thing. And having those. Hang on 1 second. No, we're good. I just saw the ram out the window and I'm thinking, is he still in his field? But he is. We're good. But yeah, just the whole idea of breaking things down into bite-sized and manageable chunks and doing the best you can, and just keeping plugging away at it. And this psychology can be applied to anything. Whether you are, so say you've got a really big project, say you've got a paper to write for college, or you've got a really big excitement at work and it's really overwhelming, this huge big thing, break it down into little chunks. Go like, right, I'm going to do this bit first, do that bit, I'm going to do this bit, do that bit. By breaking it down into smaller chunks, to more manageable chunks, it makes it so much more easier to then get the whole thing done. I actually used this psychology to my advantage just the other weekend. So I've been desperately trying, my office is still a mess, but I have been working at trying to get it into shape so I can use it for filming videos, I can use it for studying and working in. And I had all of our paper filing on the floor. That's all of mine and my husband's and like the Croft Farms paperwork all strewn on the floor in my office, and it looked chaotic. And I knew I wanted to get it sorted. I wanted to get everything categorised, filed, put away, all with a place and organised properly, so that I could then lay a hand on something. If my husband goes, where's the registration document for this car, I can go and lay my hand on it right away rather than going, I don't know. That happened the other day actually, and I was proud to say it was right here. So I wanted to get that task done because it had been stressing me out for so long and I couldn't find anything, and it was just, it needed done. I also needed to do a lot of studying. some exams coming up, but they got cancelled because coronavirus. So I was like, the panic was setting in. I was like, I need to study. So I had 2 really big tasks that I needed to do in one day. And I was just like, oh, this is going to be like exhausting. Both tasks were going to be exhausting. But this is where I use the kind of concept of psychology in her book. Okay, I didn't do 2010, and I didn't actually do rest periods. What I did was I alternated between the 2 tasks. So I set myself bite-sized chunks. I would do a chapter of studying, because that was a definite, like a finite, measurable section that I could do. Right, I'll do a chapter. I'd do my chapter. And then I'd go and I'd set a timer on my phone. I was setting a timer for about half an hour. And sometimes I'd find that at the end of half an hour, I'd be like, I just want to finish this little bit I'm doing right now. So I'd maybe end up doing like 40 minutes or something. But I do like a chunk of filing. And then I go back and I do a chapter of studying. And then I go back and I do another 30 minutes to an hour of filing. And by alternating back and forth, it was stopping my brain from getting so bogged down on one task that I was burning out. And I actually did, from like probably about 10 o'clock in the morning till about 10 o'clock at night, stopping for like dinner and lunch. But other than that, other than stopping to eat and for convenience breaks and to feed the cats, I was at it all day. And there's no way, if I had gone and done just the studying first, after doing several hours of studying, I would have been so frazzled. I would be like, there's no way I'm going to go do the filing now. Or vice versa, if I had gone and done just the filing, at the end of that I would have been like, there's no way I'm studying now, I'm done for the day. But because I was switching back and forth between the 2 tasks, and the 2 tasks were different enough, one I was gaining information and one I was organising, because I was switching back and forth between the 2 tasks, that I didn't need the rest time, because the switching to something else was a reward in itself. Yesterday I failed because I was doing I have become the treasurer of a local outdoor centre, and it's like a volunteer role that fits in with my accountancy studying that I'm doing, and it's, you know, a really brilliant community asset. And when I saw they needed some assistance, I volunteered. But there has been a lot of work required in getting it all set up and running properly. And well, it's all set up and running, but the accountancy had all, like the finance side, had all gotten into a really bad state, and I've been having to go through and like fix it all. And, you know, paying overdue bills and figuring out how to do payroll, and yeah, there's been like a steep learning curve. And I'd set myself a task for yesterday morning, and I went to go do that task, and then I was meant to do something else in the afternoon, but I got completely engrossed in what I was doing, and I ended up doing like a whole day of financy, accountancy stuff. And in the evening I was in such like a mental funk, just because I'd just been doing the one thing all day, and my brain was mush, and I was just so done, and I was really irritable, and just because I'd done a marathon session, and that's what this book is all about. It's about not doing marathon sessions, because it's not good for you. You don't, after a marathon session, you don't feel good. Whether it's a marathon session of playing video games, or watching TV, or cleaning, or anything that you do for too long, you'll walk away from it feeling there's like an optimum period to do any task, whether even pleasure tasks, even things like sitting watching TV. You know, you all know it, like it's much fun as it is sometimes to sit and binge watch TV, sometimes you hit a point where you're like, no, I need to do something else. And so that's the concept behind her book, is that you break it down. The unpleasant tasks in life, you break them down. You do 20 minutes, then you give yourself a break. And I mean, this morning I went and did 30 minutes of dishes, and then I'm doing YouTube videos, and I'll do another 30 minutes of dishes. And it's that whole kind of alternating between things to keep things fresh. So yeah, I found that, and that psychology, that concept, I found that really useful. Let's have a look, so let's flick through. So she talks about like the theory behind. So the first is the content. So we've got getting started. Nice ass, now get off it. Kind of who's this book for? Everyone, basically. And she lays out the concept of the 2010 system and mental health things, and the whole don't be a perfectionist, like learn that it's good enough. If it's a case of all or nothing, you'll end up being nothing and you'll be living in squalor. Something partly done is better than not done at all. She then has unfucking your own habitat, and so there's a section on building habits, a section about storage, about making sure that the amount of stuff you have ties in with how much storage you have. She talks about the cleaning basics and what to do if you live in a small space, because that's obviously more challenging. But there's things like, don't try to change everything all at once. You can't change everything all at once, and you shouldn't try to. Doing a little bit every day. Things like using your waiting time effectively. So like, if while you're waiting for dinner to cook, you can quickly wash up some of the things that are on the side. The whole idea about completing things, put it away. Keeping surfaces clear. Doing things the night before to help you the next morning. I mean, some of this is just really common sense, or doing washing up every day. That's something I'm guilty of not doing. The whole putting it away. I'm terrible for the floor-drobe. I'm not so bad at washing clothes. I'll hang it up to dry. Putting it away, that's the worst chore. It'll lie in a heap on the floor for ages. So and it's things like taking photos so you can see the progress, you can see before and afters. She does talk about getting rid of stuff and the decluttering, some of the concepts that Marie Kondo talks about the things like, if you've received a gift, its purpose was the person giving it to you enjoyed giving it to you, you enjoyed receiving it, hopefully. That was its function. If you don't actually have any further use for it or further want to keep it, you don't have to. It served its function as a gift. Ironically, some of the wedding gifts I received, some of the best, like we got a really good frying pan. That was like from some people that we didn't even know that well. And that's like, I use that all the time. And it's funny because it makes me think of them, because I'm like, yeah, that was a good gift, that was actually useful. But there's other gifts that you're like, because it's in a box still. Apologies. She also mentions about the dark side of minimalism, that compulsive decluttering and compulsive hoarding are opposite sides of the same coin. They both result in extreme behaviour that dictates how you interact with the stuff around you. So she's like, getting rid of stuff isn't in itself like this a healthy way of life. It's kind of that word of caution that, thinking about what you're getting rid of and why. The whole, am I holding on to it because actual item itself is far less important. My former mother-in-law was notorious for, she liked to give lots of gifts, and a lot of it would be utter tat, but she enjoyed giving it. And my ex-husband, like, there's a reason he's my ex, and he was just so ungrateful about it, and he'd like criticise her for the things that she bought, and I was like, that was so rude. She just enjoyed buying stuff for us, and fair enough, it might have been a waste of money, but she's gonna spend money on it anyway and buy it, so I would like really like politely accept it and thank her for it, and you could see it made her happy. Didn't mean I had to keep all of it. Some things I do still have. And yeah, and it's talking about like storage and how to store things and keep the place looking tidy. Talking about the cleaning, how to clean. I did spot, looking through this book, there's a whole section on moving. The irony is I did a massive move across the country last year, and I probably should have read. Oh, sorry, sneezes. I probably should have read that section before moving, but I didn't. There's a whole section on dealing with other people in your space, and specifically in your fucked up space. So roommates, spouses, and significant others, and also asking for help or helping someone else. I've not read it, but you know, headings, you can't change anyone's habits but your own. Sort of common sense. You're the one who's invested in this right now. And kind of encouraging you to talk about it. But don't be a doormat. Passive aggressive behaviour never works. So yeah, so it's a heap of things. And then we've got special cases, so we've got emergency unfucking, moving, unfucking your digital life, schoolwork and work. So we've got the whole, you've got a guest coming unexpectedly and you need to do an emergency tidy up. Again, I've not read it, so I mean that's how I normally clean, so that's not exactly news to me. But the moving section probably would have been useful to have actually read beforehand. But digital habitat, that is something that Marie Kondo does talk about in her decluttering as well, and I've got another book about how to break up with your phone, because I think sometimes our digital lives can be quite toxic as well, and it's learning how to build a life that's healthy for you. But yeah, so her last chapter is about schoolwork and work, and kind of what I was saying about the whole, if you've got a project, so she's got the headings here: set time aside, start early, break it down, work consistently, and take a breather. I mean, the thing is some people might watch this and go, well, that's all bleeding obvious, that's just really obvious. Well, obviously, but for some people it's not, and for me, the concept that I deserve my space to be tidy, I shouldn't be cleaning for other people, I should be cleaning for me, that was a light bulb moment for me. And for me as well, the concept of the psychology behind breaking things down, I found that really useful, and so taking that and applying that to other aspects of my life. I mean, if you get the app, it has a timer built in to where you can like set the timer going, go and clean for a while, and then come back, and it'll the alarm will go off when you need to take a break. It's also got like challenges in the app where it takes you through like room by things that you should go and clean and tidy. Because sometimes you can forget certain things in the house, and it's like, right, go clean your oven, wipe your skirting boards, that kind of thing, do the mirrors, and it can be quite good because you can always like make it almost like a game out of it, set yourself challenges, and sort of tackle things like area by area or room by room, but doing it in like bite-sized manageable chunks. I'm planning on like building this. So last week I basically had a apocalypse week where I sat and read books and achieved basically nothing. I did the bare minimum, so that my husband wouldn't kick me out and make me sleep with the sheep. I was, hardly even washing. It was getting bad. How he didn't shut me in the barn is beyond me. But this week I'm kind of like, right, regroup. One of the things I'm doing is I'm setting myself several half-hour slots in the day to do housework. So I'm doing half-hour slots, and if I want to do that as a 2010, I can. And by doing that, it helps keep on top of things. I'm not going to try and go clean my entire house. My house needs a clean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to try and go and do the whole thing today. But if I'm being consistent at doing half-hour intervals, maybe a couple, 2 or 3 times a day, every day for the next few weeks, hopefully in a few weeks' time I can report back and say the bathroom has been cleaned, I noticed like the washing machine and the fridge could do with getting cleaned, sort of the microwave and the oven probably. I will have caught up on dishes and laundry. I will have put away my laundry. I'll have dusted. I'll have mopped the floors, hoovered. I'll have caught up on all these things. But to try and do them all in one day is too much. So I hope that if this is something that you needed to hear, I hope it's useful. Important thing, be kind to yourself. Work within what you can achieve. But do push yourself within limits, like within reason. It's that whole setting smart goals, make them, what does the S stand for again? Is it sensible? Is it sensible? I can't remember what the S stands for. Oh no, it's specific. Make them specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timely. I think that's smart. It's good to push yourself and set yourself goals, but make it realistic, make it achievable. Give it a time frame that's actually doable. And with cleaning, if you don't get it done today, it'll still be there tomorrow, so you can try again tomorrow. So yeah, I hope those kind of little messages from that book might be helpful to you. I said I might try and do like a Marie Kondo roleplay at some point in the future, because I do love her decluttering method. I found it really useful and really helpful to help get rid of stuff. Also, I just want to talk about what I'm currently doing to try and organise myself, because I realised my life was getting very disorganised. So I have gotten a friend gave me a diary. I'll go to a page where there's nothing written on it. And so it's, I don't know how well you can see this, it's basically got a space for tasks, a day and date, goal for today, time for me, which is important, and from 6 a.m. until midnight, an hour by hour calendar. And I've been working at actually like putting things in a time slot rather than, because before I tend to use my bullet journal and I would just do it by like just task list, but by actually assigning things to a time slot in the day, I'm hoping it's going to be more likely that I'll actually do it, and I'm trying to get more disciplined about getting up and starting whatever my activity, whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's my accountancy work, or whether it's housework, getting stuck into my work of the day, and or whether it's craft work, important as well, and actually getting stuck in at a set time and then working away at it and taking breaks and alternating between tasks, and making sure I have downtime for me as well, because that's like key to success, is making sure that you're not burning yourself out. And I've had a bit of a review of my kind of goals and objectives for the next few months, and I've got a page where I've kind of got a few things for me to focus on, and one of those is to try and get 2 to 3 YouTube videos up a week, rather than at the moment where it's been a bit chaotic. But even that, sometimes it's really tempting to record like a whole heap of videos in one go. I mean, I have just done 2 in a go because I did my face and the hair and everything, and it was a waste not to. But sometimes even doing too many YouTube videos, it can just leave you feeling a bit bleh. So it's that whole kind of better time management, and hopefully over the next few weeks and months, I'll be putting this shutdown to good use, this lockdown, and I'll be establishing some healthy routines and schedules so that when we come out the other side of the lockdown, I'll be in a pretty, hopefully, stable place in terms of routines and healthy habits and positive and effective working practices, because I still haven't quite found my balance yet after moving home. I've been kind of running on chaos for the past, coming up for a year now, and it's about time I started trying to establish some routine and some regularity and some discipline to my life. But anyway, that is enough rambling for me for now, I think. So I will go now, and I'll see you in a video sometime soon. But yeah, take care.